Alrighty, hi, so this is going to be just a quick video on Magicka Nightblade for PvP. This is sort of a small scale, not really dueling, but just like if you're running in with two people, just you and someone, or like four people, and then you're facing just the hordes of Cyrodiil. This is what I would run. So the first thing I'll get into right away is just the sets, because that's what everyone wants to see. So I have Twiceborn Star, all Impen. And then I have Alteration Mastery, and Moloch Kina, one piece, and then I have one piece, well you can only have one piece, Master's Inferno Staff for that Flame Reach, and I have Back Bar Resto Staff of Alteration Mastery. So you don't always have the Alteration Mastery 5-piece, which is fine, and I'll explain why shortly, but no problem at all. So the next thing, just the stats. So this is front bar, High Elf Nightblade. You could also be a Dark Elf or Breton, but the first thing I'd recommend probably is a High Elf if you're just doing strictly PvP. And then High Elf and then Breton. Then you could have sort of that the different abilities. Breton's actually pretty good for PvP just because it has that built-in spell resistance, and I don't have that much spell resistance as you can see, but whatever. Oh, and also this is for Sotha Sil, the non-CP campaign. I did a little testing in Vivec, but it's a little harder to kill people in there, but you can still do it. You just have to be a lot more careful. So as you can see, we have about 35k Magicka. The Magicka recovery at 1900 is not great, but I'll show you how you can get around all that sort of stuff. I would like to have the magic recovery at about 2k. We do have some extra little bit of health here, so you don't really need 21k health, and especially on the back bar, which is the one where you will be spamming all the stuff, you do want to have that extra little bit of Magicka recovery. So I'm thinking of switching my food actually from Max Health Max Magicka to Witch Mother's Brew or Potent Brew or something, where it gives you the health, Max Magicka, and then Magicka recovery. So I would do that. So as you can see, again, front bar only 2k spell damage. I'll show you how we can get around that. Spell penetration only at 4.9, which is pretty low as well. And crit is low. Magic recovery is a little low as well. So it doesn't look like it's a great build to start out with, but I'll show you how we can work around it. Also, all stats into Magicka. So the first thing we're going to do is I'll talk about Twiceborn Star. So the reason why I chose Twiceborn Star is it gives you that extra, not even on the right body piece. So it gives you 2 Mundus Stones. So as you saw, if you didn't see, the 2 Mundus Stones I chose were Apprentice and Atronach. I was deciding, you do need Atronach no matter what, but you can choose between Apprentice or the Lover, and I chose Apprentice just because that spell damage as before was even less than 2k, so it's really nice to have at least 2k spell damage. Then you can do a little bit more damage. So those are the 2 I have there, and all of those are Impen. I have 2 Divines pieces, just Kina, just because I can't get an Impen for some reason, and just because of straight RNG, and then I got Jerkin of Alteration Mastery and Divines. But I like having that extra little bit of Divines help. I should probably upgrade this to Gold too, just to help a little bit. And then everything else is Impen. So you want to have Twiceborn Star as body pieces, so when you do swap a weapon, you don't lose a Mundus Stone. So don't create a Resto Staff or Destro Staff of Twiceborn Star unless you make both of them Twiceborn Star. Then you can have the weapons as Twiceborn Star. But in this build, I'd recommend having Master's Inferno Staff instead. So the next thing, or you could actually have, if you want to have that 5th piece bonus of Alteration Mastery all the time, and you don't have a Master's Staff, then I would go with just I don't have it, but just like a Destro Staff of Alteration Mastery, which are pretty easy to find. And then Alteration Mastery, just all the jewelry, and back bar Resto stuff. So you want to have the Destro Resto combo. So front bar is going to be these following abilities. So Elemental Drain. So this is what you need. You need this because we don't have amazing recovery, and you do need to spam a lot of stuff. You need to be running Elemental Drain. Plus, it also gives you that Major Breach, which reduces their spell resistance, as you can see, for 5,280 points, I guess. So, as I showed you, the spell... What the heck? See, there we go. Spell Penetration. So that doesn't really matter as much, because then it'll go down an extra, like, more than double what I have already, and then that helps the spell damage, because you're not going to be pumping out tons of damage. So that helps a little bit, and then you also have Minor Berserk, sorry, from Merciless Resolve. So, the problem with this build, well, it's not really a problem, just because it is meant for small scale, so it doesn't really matter, but small scale isn't always going to happen. You are going to be facing just tons and tons of people. So we don't really have that many damage abilities. We don't just go straight DPS, but we do have a little bit of help. So Structured Entropy on the back bar does grant us that Major Sorcery, increasing spell damage for like 20%. So you want to pop that as well. And then you can also pop Merciless Resolve. That'll help. And then you pop Elemental Drain. So all of those abilities are going to help reduce, well, just not make the low spell damage as shitty, which is what I was going for. And then also, Magicka Nightblades don't really have like a burst heal like a Magicka Templar, or even stand characters. Stand characters have Rally, they also have Vigor, so they can just be popping that instead. So what we do need to have is another heal other than just these two. So we have Funnel Health, and then a Funnel Health also helps you to heal your allies. So if you see someone in trouble, you can just start spamming. Oh, I don't know why I just tried to start spamming it. Funnel Health, and Funnel Health will automatically just start giving you back health, which is nice, and doing damage. And that's one of our also, like, major attack. I don't know, I keep trying to do like a combo there. So that's one of the major attacks as well. So you can have this. And then also, because you don't really have that many damage abilities, you do have Merciless Resolve, and then all you need is just 5 light hits, really, or heavy if you're like charging a Resto Staff ability, or just charging a Resto Staff heavy attack. So you have that as well, and then you can get Assassin's Will, which reduces their movement speed by 40% as well, which is really nice. Plus, it gives you that extra little bit of that bow and arrow damage that you just fire. So, Flame Reach, 41 meters, that's a crazy distance to fire something at. So you can hit people from really far away, like off of keeps. They're running away from you, they're running away from you, you can also destroy them. Just slow them down a little bit until you can catch up. And so, which is why I chose it. And then also, because I have the Master's Inferno Staff, so that's why I chose this over like Force Pulse or anything like that. And lastly, just an Execute. Impale, so the distance execute, once you hit them, they're not going down, but you do a lot more damage with that. And lastly, Soul Assault. So this is just a single target, just straight damage right away, reducing movement speed by 70%, and also revealing people as well. So, which is really nice in PvP because you do face a lot of Nightblades, especially when you're facing AD. And my main's an AD, and, well, he's not a Nightblade, but I do have Nightblades on AD. So, back bar. What do we have? Harness Magicka, the go-to for a lot of Magicka builds. Well, like, I don't know a Magicka build that does not have Harness Magicka, or even, the Morph of, what is it? Dampen Magicka, or something like that. But this also will help us regen a lot of stats, well, a lot of resources back every time you're hit. So you're going to be popping this, so Harness Magicka. You're going to be popping Barrage a lot as well. You don't want to have Double Take, because Double Take only helps you run a little faster. Well, this gives you that extra little bit of resistance, which is not bad at all. And, that dodge chance, which is what you're really going for. So that's automatically 15% damage mitigation just from that, well, we'll see. Sometimes it's lower, sometimes it's higher. Sometimes you dodge a lot more, sometimes you like don't dodge anything. But it's not bad. So it works out to probably be around 15% overall anyway, which is how it's supposed to be. Then you have structured entropy. Structured entropy does that little bit of extra health regen back, plus gives you the spell damage, like I said before. And healing ward. This is the reason why you have a resto staff on the back bar. This is like your most important heal. Without healing ward, you would probably die a lot. The problem with healing ward, though, is that you can't really control where it goes. So if you're in a group of people, like you and 4 people, or you and 3 people, sorry, just like running a 4-man, and you pop it, it doesn't mean that it's going to go onto you. It could go onto someone else. So you have to watch out for that, because if you're not watching it and you think you have healing ward on you and you don't, you could die easily. Just because you think it's on you and you don't actually have any health incoming or a shield on you at all. So watch out for that, but just keep popping it constantly and it'll eventually go on you. Then this is the reason why I have sorry, the reduced costs on the back bar, because it gives all these abilities 6% less Magicka for me to use, so I can pop it more. And I also have it just because you are facing a lot of people on here that run stuns and stuff like that, so you do have to do other things. So the thing with Alteration Mastery is that it actually reduces cost of all your abilities, not just Magicka and Stam abilities. So if I had a Stam ability on here for some reason, then it would reduce that as well. But it also reduces the cost of Break Free, reduces the cost of Ultimate, Sprint, Dodge Roll, and all that sort of stuff, which is an extremely useful set to have. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. So that's why I'm running Alteration Mastery. The set that I would run instead of Alteration Mastery is Amber Plasm, and I'll just, yeah, I use Steam for ESO, whatever. So Amber Plasm, ESO. So this is the set. Max Magicka, spell crit, spell damage, and then you have that crazy 5th piece bonus. 250 Magicka recovery, 250 Stam recovery. That's insane. So you have really good regen for Magicka recovery, and then you have half decent recovery for Stam. So Stam, then you can break free, you can dodge roll, you can sprint. So you can do all that sort of stuff, and it'll regen a lot quicker than it does currently. So that is really good. Plus, if you're also a Dark Elf, you have that other like Dark Elf passive that helps with Stam recovery as well. So if you don't have Alteration Mastery, if you don't want to run Alteration Mastery, that's the other set I would run, is Amber Plasm. So Amber Plasm and Twiceborn Star. I don't have Amber Plasm right now, which is why I'm not running it, but I would definitely like to try it out. Oh, also the jewelry. So the jewelry, I have 1 piece Magic recovery, and then the rest are just spell damage. Just for reference there. Okay, and lastly, the ult for the back bar, Soul Tether. So this is where the AoE comes from. You don't really have much AoE, but this is all the AoE. So it was either this or bats. And the reason why I chose Soul Tether is because it gives you that stun. That stun is so clutch. So that stun allows you to just, once you pop it, it does a butt ton of damage to the enemy. You pop it, and then you can switch to this bar, and then just start spamming all your damage abilities, and most people go down, especially if you have Elemental Drain on them, and then you're just in a small group of people, they'll all wipe. It's pretty sick. It's happened like a few times. I just haven't recorded any of it, but that's basically this whole build, I believe. And oh, the pots. The pots I run 2 different type of pots. Spell damage pots with major sorcery and Magicka, and then I have the immovable pots just because I get tossed around all the time too. So major prophecy, and as you can see, I don't really have any alchemy yet, but I need to work on that for this tune. That's the Magicka Nightblade. I'll do a video of just gameplay, and then you can see the different types of situations and stuff like that. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I hope this helps with your Magicka Nightblade.